Ashish sir. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Kaushik Mukherjee from AKS University, Satna, and today we are going to organize a very important webinar on inventory management. And first, let me introduce our resource person. He is none other than Mr. Indrajit Bandapadhyay. He is CFO of USA Martin Solutions Limited, and he is having immense experience in the field of academics as well as in the field of corporate. So once again, I would like to welcome Mr. Indrajit Bandapadhyay in the national webinar in this platform, digital platform. And we would like to welcome our chairperson also, who will be joining soon, Engineer Anand Kumar Soni sir. And with us, the IT support given by Ashish sir, coordinated by Mr. Pramod Dwivedi, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Management Studies. And within very short period of time, our Pro Vice Chancellor Development, Professor Harshvardhan, who is an eminent economist also and national award winner, he also will be joining. So once again, I would like to welcome our guest of the hour, Mr. Indrajit Bandapadhyay. And now we will be starting the national webinar on inventory management. Let us hear, let us learn, let us know the practical aspects of inventory management from the corporate world. So, Mr. Indrajit Bandapadhyay, sir, now the digital platform is all yours. Most welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now you can start, sir.
Okay. Okay, so am I audible to everybody?
Yeah.
Hello?
Audible, but if voice is a bit weak, sir.
Now am I audible to everybody? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, sir, it is audible.
Yeah, is it still feeble? No.
Pardon, sir?
Is it still weak, the voice, or it is clear now?
Sir, it is clear, but the strength is, you can say 3.5 in 5.
3.5 in 5.
Yeah, so if it can be raised a bit.
Okay, let me see once again why it is like this. No, here in my laptop it is 99 out of 100. So
okay, sir, no issue then. It is fine now. So you can carry on with your lecture, sir. Once again, please welcome.
Okay. Thank you. So good evening, everybody. I do express my sincere gratitude to the chairman, sir, vice chancellor, pro vice chancellor of the esteemed university, and I should also thankful and grateful to Dr. Kaushik Mukherjee to give me the opportunity to provide me the lecture on fundamentals of inventory management. I also be thankful to Professor Dwivedi and Professor Ashish for assisting and coordinating. So I think that I'm directly going to the today's lecture. So my topic is given as inventory management. So I want to go by the theory first, and after covering some aspects of the theory, then I would like to show some of the practical aspects. That means, the mathematical portion of the inventory management. Although you know that the time is short enough, 90 minutes or 80 minutes is not sufficient to cover up the entire inventory management. because almost all the chapters of the operations research or operations management is like an ocean. So covering the entire chapter within this short span of time is very difficult. And means I assume that all the students of the postgraduate levels are there who are listening today. So I want to start from the very scratch so that everybody can understand, because I don't know, I think that the group is quite heterogeneous in nature. I don't know the background of each and every students, research scholars and other dignitaries. So I would like to start from the very scratch, and if I'm not understandable, please stop me, and I would like to clarify the entire thing number of times, because you know that basically I'm a teacher, so I have enough patience to repeat the same thing number of times, and means I also couldn't get my satisfaction if you don't understand anything. And if you have any problem in my language, I am little bit weak in Hindi, so but I will try to explain a bit in Hindi, means whatever it is possible. So inventory means it is stock. So while talking about the inventory, we know that there are three types of inventories. First one is inventory of the raw materials. Second one, inventory of WIP. So inventory of work in progress. And the third one, that is the inventory of the finished goods. Because in the process of production, mainly there are three stages. We get input, those inputs are being transmitted into output. So while transmitting, we have to insert all those inputs into processes. Depending on the different kind of manufacturing, the processes may differ, but there should be a process, because the crude inputs cannot be directly, means without going through the processes, it cannot be transferred into the output. So there are three main blocks. First one is input, second one is that processing, and the third block is the final products, that is the output. So stock inventory may be emerged in the first block, that means as an input. If you want to purchase the raw materials, instantly you can't be used it. You can't be inserted into the process. So for some times, some days, some months, some years, even some decades also, you may have to keep those purchases, those materials in your hand. So that is the inventory, that is the stock at the very outset of the entire production process. So this is called the inventory of the raw materials. Then while inserting into that machines, when the transformation is going on. Yes, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Sorry, I would like to interrupt you.
No, it's okay.
Our respected Pro Vice Chancellor, sir, and eminent economist, Professor Harshvardhan, sir, has also joined. PVC, sir, would you like to tell something?
No, I just want to hear the Professor Bandyopadhyay ji.
Yes,
I'm really impressed with his personality, and I have read about him that he is already in a he's a corporate leader, and working in Usha Martin Education and Solutions, etc. He is looking after.
yes,
And
sir.
I'm happy, and it is a new subject for me also. because I have never read about the inventory management. But
No, no.
I'm eager to hear you, sir. And I welcome on behalf
Thank you,
of
sir.
the university, such a great personality has been invited by our HOD, Mr. Mukherjee, and I wanted that our students should learn, and all the persons who are listening today, they may also learn how the inventory management works takes place, and how our economy is very much dependent on the inventory management. So supply chain is important. I do
Great, sir.
understand, but your lecture would be very of immense use for our students, MBA students
Thank you,
particularly.
sir.
And sometimes
I shall try.
I would like to see you in our university also. We will invite you sometimes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Uh,
I express my sincere gratitude to you.
because in new education policy, we are also supposed to have interaction with the people like you, how to amend our syllabus, etc.
Yes,
How
yes, yes,
to
sir.
hands-on training should be given to the students, and how the students should go for the internship. That is also important.
Yes,
So
right.
your joining by way of this webinar would be very much important for the university's future also. So I
Thank you, sir.
again welcome you on behalf of AKS University, and I'm also happy that Mr. Mukherjee has invited you, and you will enlighten us today with the detail of the inventory management, how the industry and the firm do about the inventory management, and it is a very important issue for the supply chain from one end to the other end, from the
Great.
production to the last end. It is very important.
Great.
So please continue, and it is in the interest of our students that they must also hear you properly and wholeheartedly. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank
Thank you very much for your kind words. Sir, kindly continue. So once again, we will re-invite our special speaker, Mr. Indrajit Bandopadhyay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so let me continue from where means actually probably you can find out the chain. So I'm telling you that there are three different stocks in different facets we are keeping. So the stock can be kept at the very outset of any production. That is the inventory or stock of the raw materials. Now, when the raw materials are inserted into the processing, into some kind of machines, I'm talking about the industry, not in the service sector. In the secondary sector, I'm talking about, not in the tertiary sector. So in the industry, when the physical stocks are inserted into the machineries, so that is called the inventory of work in progress, because now the work is processed. So some stocks are now transformed from the input to the output. So it is a half-made things. So we have inserted the 100% of the materials. We have employed 50% of the labor. Say for example, we have applied 50% of the overhead. So in that way, we can calculate that what is the costing of the materials already inserted into it. But we should remember that the raw materials are there into the machines and it is half finished. So that is also a stock or an inventory. And at last, while the entire inputs are converted into the output, immediately the sales proceeds may not happen immediately, because the sales proceeds depend on the demand on the market, and demand may fluctuate. So you have to store all the final products into some places, maybe in godown, and then whenever the demand is there, through proper supply chain, Those will be supplied into the market through the distribution channel, and then means the final user, the end user will use it. So more or less, you see that this is the entire thing. So while talking about the inventory, there are three types of inventory: inventory of the raw materials, inventory of the work in progress, and inventory of the final products. Now today I am mainly concentrating on the inventory of the inputs in terms of economics. Inputs means inventory of the raw materials. So I am confining myself in discussing of the inventory of the raw materials only. I am not concentrating on the inventory of the work in progress or the inventory of the end products, that means the output, the final products. I'm not concentrating on that. Why? Because you know that while we are concerned into the input, the purchase factor also will be there. The purchase factor also will be there. So inventory of the inputs, inventory of the raw materials is completely entangled, is fully associated with the purchase decision. When to purchase, what to purchase, and most importantly, how much to purchase. So how much to purchase is the key thing of the inventory. Now the name of the topic is inventory management. So what is inventory? In a short span of time, probably I can make you understood. So now I am coming to the part of the management. That inventory management. So what is the meaning of this management and how to manage the inventory? You know that there are again two dimensions, two aspects, two facets of this management. One is the operational or the physical management of the inventory. And the second one is the financial management, cost aspects of inventory. So the operational part, the physical part, again I am not talking about today, because means what comprises the physical part? The physical part comprises how to keep it in the godowns, what kind of infrastructure you need to keep it intact safely. You know that depending on the characters of the inputs, the characters of the raw materials, the engineers have to decide on that. If you want to keep chemical products, then one specific type of infrastructure you require. If you want to stock, say, cement, then definitely separate type of infrastructure you require. That is not akin to, that should not be similar to the infrastructure of the chemicals. If you want to stock the volatile, any compound, so certain other safety measures you have to take. So those are the physical parts of keeping it safely intact. So those parts are not the subject matter to discuss on today's delivery. So what should I then talk about today? I am talking about the financial part of the inventory. That means how to manage the stock, the inventory financially. So now let me explain a little bit of this financial aspect. We all know that in business, one of the objectives or one of the concerns is the minimization of cost. There may be, different objectives: profit maximization, social welfare maximization, market share maximization, sales revenue maximization. So those are the objectives of maximization, output maximization. On the contrary, sometimes we want to minimize something also. So cost is one of the factors in every arena, in all points of production, or more broadly, you can say that in every aspects of the operations. When you will be in the practical field, I hope that you will all be the good managers in your future. So then you will experience that to what extent the cost is important. That means, 1 paise counts in the operations. There is a tremendous pressure on the manager to minimize the cost, definitely without hampering the quality. But cost minimization is one of the main objectives of the operations of any kind of business, whether it is in the business of the primary sectors, agriculture, pisciculture, fishery, mining, or it is the business in the secondary sector, industries, whether it is small or large, or it is in the business and services of the tertiary sector, banking, finance, teaching, hospital and hospitality industries, everywhere. So today, in this evening, we try to learn that how to manage the inventory cost. So now I am coming to the probably the key point of today's lecture, that actually I am trying to provide you some concept on the cost management of the stock. So this is how we can manage the inventory. That means the stock of the inputs, the stock of the raw materials. So am I clear to everybody? I want to make it interactive. Dear students and the dignified scholars, so can you reply me that till time what I am explaining, do you all understand, or is there any problem from your end? Please ask some questions if you have. Then I will proceed once again up, means from this point. Hello? Anybody please, do you have any questions? Do you understand what I'm telling?
Sir,
Yes.
They are sending the questions to me, sir. So at the end,
okay.
At the end, I will send it, sir.
Okay.
And,
Okay, sir.
Students are there, faculty are also there. They are listening and enjoying your session, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. I understand. Okay. So then I'm continuing. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Okay. So now regarding the costs, definitely you understand that we have to minimize the cost. Now we have to understand that what kinds of costs are associated with this inventory. Then only we can understand that how to minimize those. Number one, the name of the cost is carrying / holding / storage cost. The same name, only 3 names are there, not 108 like Sri Krishna. Only 3 names. So either carrying cost or storage cost or holding cost. The same thing. Now, what does it mean? Carrying. There is a misconception. I shouldn't say misconception. As per the English connotation, carrying means transportation. But here, while discussing the carrying cost in terms of inventory, it doesn't mean transportation. So, means we are little bit deviated from the strict English connotation that carrying means transshipment or transportation. I think that you all carry some misery, some dissatisfaction through your life, maybe a decade, maybe 2 decades. Because we are all human beings, so we are made of joy. Our mind is full of sometimes happiness and sometimes sorrow. So that sorrow, that grief, we are carrying for some weeks, for some days, for some years. So what the carry does mean over here? So carrying here means bearing. So we are carrying some burden of misery. We are carrying some burden of sorrow. So here carry means bearing. So if you want to stock something, you are responsible. You have to take care of that thing. So you are carrying the burden of the responsibility of the entire taking care of that stocks. So here carrying implies, the word carrying means that. That means you have to bear the responsibility, you have to take care properly, you have to look after the entire stockpiling, entire inventory. So you have to carry the burden of keeping that inventory properly, safely, intact, so that it can be used as an input while required in the time of manufacture. So in this sense, here the carrying word is used. You see the other synonyms of carry, holding cost. So what is the meaning of that? You are holding the materials in the godowns, in some other places, of means definitely the safe places. So since you are holding it, so you have to bear some cost. I'm explaining it a little bit later on. And the third synonym is what? That is storage cost. So very easily understood, understandable, and it is self-explanatory in nature. So carrying cost means carrying the burden of storing it properly. Storage cost, the same thing, the cost incurred for storing it properly. Holding cost, the same meaning, the cost involved, the cost incurred in holding, in keeping the materials intact. Now let me give some examples of those costs. And probably you all can understand, because you have the experience, that if you want to hire a godown, so then you have to bear the rent of the godown. So that rent is a cost. Definitely, some of you are coming from the commerce background, although I am not. But still, I know little bit of commerce. Not the experts like you, but still know some commerce. So you know that the rent, that is an element of the profit and loss account. Why? Because that is fixed cost. So rent is a holding cost. You have to, means while keeping all those things, for avoiding the contingencies, the accidents, you should insure all these products, because future is uncertain. You don't know. It can be caught fire also tomorrow. So then the entire of your materials will be lost. So then what to do? So for the safety, you have to insure. So insurance has a cost. So the rent of the godowns, the insurance of the materials, those are the costs which can be called the storage cost or the holding cost or the carrying cost. That means the carrying of the burden of keeping the materials. Now you see that if you order a large amount, in one go means in a single order, if you place a huge amount of your materials, then definitely you need a large godowns to keep. You need to pay high insurance premium because you have to take care a large amount of materials for certain times, whatever it may be. So that means you see that if your order size is large enough, then your holding cost or the storage cost would be increased. So mathematically, there is a positive relation between the ordered quantity and the storage cost. If the ordered quantity means the quantity, the amount, what you want to order in one go. So that ordered quantity, if the size is large, then your storage costs will also be more. So your storage cost is increased if the ordered quantity is increased. So do you all understand this? So this is one cost. This is not the whole cost. This is only one cost. There is another cost, and the relationship is countervailing. There is an opposite relationship, a relationship of discontent. Now I am telling about the second type of cost. That is called ordering cost. Only one name. Ordering cost. Very easy to understand. Some expenses, some costs are also involved while placing the order. What kind of costs are those? Do you know that how much costs you have to incur if you want to place, say, a 3-inch by 5-inch color advertisement in a popular newspaper like Times of India today? I am telling you, it's near about 1,20,000 including GST for 2 publications in consecutive 2 weeks. In the 3rd page, because that is the prominent page of the newspaper. Do you have any idea that the same size of advertisement, colored advertisement, if you want to publish in Anand Bajar Patrika, probably you haven't heard the name. This is a Bengali most popular newspaper in West Bengal, well circulated. The cost would be 2,37,000 including the GST. And you see that these costs are not the deferred revenue expenditure type. Why? Because what is the ordering cost? That means you have to place a tender in the second page. First page, the reverse side of the first page, the tender advertisement in the newspaper while placing an order. So let me go little bit back, means I should start from the very scratch of the entire purchasing process. So what is the purchasing process? Normally from the Department of Manufacturing, production department, a requisition is generated with all the specifications, all the minute specifications that this material is required at this point of time, and those requisitions normally come to the purchase department. Now this is the job of the purchase department to procure the materials and send it to the store. So now what is the job of the purchase department? After getting the minute specification in terms of requisitions, say one steel iron rod is required, say for example. So the thickness, the radius, the content, the quality of iron or steel, everything should be mentioned in that requisition. And as per the requisition, according to the requisition, the purchase department should purchase, so that no deviation is there. Because afterwards, if there is, means that in the time of getting the output, means in all the phases, the quality controls are there. So if there is any deviation from the requisition, the quality audit will object. So that's why the purchase department should follow meticulously the entire, as per the requisition, they have to place the order. So what is the process of purchasing? After getting that, getting the requisition, getting the demand from the production department, now they publish those requisitions specifically, normally in the newspapers or the business journals, mostly in the newspapers. Why? Because the vendors, the suppliers, vendors means the suppliers, the persons who are doing the business of that raw materials, those are called the suppliers, and the vendors, the same thing. So now the vendors, they normally follow those newspaper advertisements called tender advertisements or the calling of tender. So they follow the tenders because that is their source of business. So they are interested. So normally, regularly, on a regular basis, they read the tenders. Now, if the tenders fit with that specific vendor, so now the vendor has to submit one report called quotation with some money, deposit money, means it is recoverable. So deposit money called earnest money. So now a quotation is submitted by the prospective suppliers, by the vendors, by the businessmen who are doing businesses with that kind of raw materials, what is required by the principal company now. So that quotations are now submitted by those vendors. Now the managers of the principal company, that means who are requiring those materials, they now judge the quotations on different parameters. What is the background of the vendor? Whether that vendor has served with the dignified companies earlier or not, whether the vendor is very new, If the vendor is very new, he may not be so trustworthy. So that is a negative point. If that vendor has a long legacy of doing good business, then definitely there is a positive point, a favorable point for that vendor. Then the price, because we are talking about the cost minimization. So price is another important factor. That what is the quotation price? If the price is rupees 10, that is fine. But if the other vendor quotes rupees 12, then there is a means we have to take the decision whether you should go for rupees 10 or for rupees 12. So it is not so easy, means lots of debates, lots of considerations, lots of experience are required for taking the decision. The credit period. That means we are all thinking about the working capital management, the cash flows. So if the credit period is long, say one vendor allows me a 6 months credit. That means today we are purchasing and we have to pay after 6 months. So that means now we don't have to pay. So we can manage our cash flows. We can manage our working capital good in a better manner. And if another vendor allows us only a 2 months of credit, then my point should go in favor of that vendor who is allowing 6 months of credit. So those points of considerations should be there. So this process is called vendor selection and vendor rating. I am repeating, vendor selection and vendor rating. Earlier, means say 100 years back, we only select one vendor. We used to select only one vendor. So at that time, vendor selection was a popular terminology. Say 10 quotations are there. They submit 10 quotations, and as a purchase manager, I do select only one. That means only one vendor is there. But nowadays, the business environment is so complex that you can't believe on one vendor. The trustworthiness is gradually decreasing with the decreasing human values and the increasing uncertainties and risks in the business environment. So now we have to rankify, we have to rate the vendors as 1, 2, 3. So we have to keep contact, keep in touch with 3, 4 vendors. Why? Because if one vendor, the most prominent vendor, the most favorable vendor fails, our supply chain will not be broken completely. The second vendor is there. So instantly we have to switch over to the second vendor, change our policy, and get the raw materials on time so that our entire production process will be operational. So vendor rating is now important because we have to rate the vendor 1, 2, 3 like this, and we have to keep several vendors in our list. We are not relying on a single vendor because sometimes we miss. So you select the vendor. Now after selecting the vendor, then there is a question of getting the materials on time. So you see that for every purchase, this entire process you have to follow. So this advertisement cost, advertisement means the tender advertisement. And why it is not deferred revenue type? The advertisement, the impression of which is being carried for years after years. For example, you are posting a hoarding, a large hoarding, in the midst of a chalk, in the midst of a, 5 points crossing, big crossing, popular crossing. So nowadays, all those hoardings, rent, you have to take for 3 months. You can't get it for 1 month. So at least you have to take the rent of that hoarding for 3 months. And if you want to get it in a popular junction of 3-4 streets, 3-4 lanes, then in Kolkata, it costs around 1 lakhs for 3 months. Now, while driving the car, while walking on the roads, every day, you are watching that hoardings. So the name of the company, the name of the products, definitely creating some kind of impression within your mind. And if it is there for 6 months or for 9 months, then definitely the impression of that will be there in your brain, say for 1.5 years or 2 years maybe. So the entire cost spent on that kind of advertisement can be called the deferred revenue expenditure. Why? Because that costs of 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs should not be debited in the profit and loss account from that years of the account. No. Since the benefit you are reaping from that kind of advertisement is for 2 years, then the entire cost should be adjusted for 2 years accounting statement, not from the 1 year. Then your net profit will be going down, your dividend will be less, and if your dividend to the equity shareholders is less, you will lose the goodwill, and it has a impact in the secondary share market. So all these are completely linked up. But this kind of tender advertisement, whatever may be the cost, if it is 10 crores, even though you have to debit it from the same years of profit and loss. Why? Because the purpose of this advertisement is completely different. The purpose is not to create any impression of the brand. The purpose is to purchase. Once you purchase, the purpose of that tender advertisement is completely waived out. There is no long-lasting, impact. So you see that how important that ordering cost is. It has a direct impact on that years of accounts, and believe me, it's a huge cost. So if the number of orders are more, ordering costs will be more. And not only the cost of publishing the tender, not only that. Once you receive the materials at your door, door of the godown, you have to check it. Whether you place the order to the ISO company or not, that's not the question. If you place the order to the ISO company, then also you have to check it. Without checking, you can't allow it to store it in the godown. Because whether it is a frog or snake, you have to check. So every time checking with the experts, because the layman like me can't check chemicals. The layman like me can't check, any kind of specific commodities. So the specific inputs should be checked with the specific persons, the expert engineers, the expert chemists, the expert, biochemic person should be there to check. So the expenditure incurred as a salary or as a consultant's fee is also there. Similarly, some fixed costs are there against each and every order. Like, everybody is casual today. So in practice, probably for getting the order, you had to call, 10 times to the supplier. That tomorrow is the date of supply, where is your material? So he used to reply, oh, don't worry, don't be worried. But there is a reason of worriness. Because in the second half of tomorrow also, you will see that your material is not coming. And then your blood pressure is gradually increasing. Why? Because day after tomorrow, or if you maintain a good safety stock, then probably after 7 days, your entire production will be stalled. So you have to get the material on time, and for that, continuous follow-up is required. So it has a cost. Sometimes tangible, visible costs, sometimes intangible, because your time is precious. So follow-up takes time. So that is also a cost. You have to measure that. If you are not busy following up, you may do some other job. So there is an opportunity cost. There is an alternative cost which is involved. So those comprise the ordering cost. Now you see the relationship between the ordering cost and the holding cost mentioned earlier. I'm just giving you one small example because I'm a little bit crippled. I want to use some board. I will use it later on. But now let me give an example without using the board. Say, for example, that our annual demand is 1,000 units. Our annual demand is 1,000 units. Now, these 1,000 units can be ordered in two ways. Again, for example, you can order 500 units in one go. So very easy, then 2 orders will be required. And you may order 200 units in one go. In that case, 5 orders will be required to fulfill your annual demand, which is 1,000 units. Am I clear to everybody? So now you see that if you place 5 orders, comprises 200 units per order, ordering cost will be high compared to option B, when you are ordering 500 units in one go, because only 2 orders are required. So if the ordered quantity is more, your storage cost will be high, but your ordering cost will be low. I am repeating once again. If the ordered quantity is more, less order should be placed. So total ordering cost will be low, but your storage cost should be high. Why? Because you have to take care of that 500 units over the period of time. So there is a countervailing relationship, opposite relationship between the ordering cost and the storage cost in terms of ordered quantity. If the ordered quantity is more, storage cost is more, ordering cost is less. Is it clear? Now you see What is the task of the purchase manager, inventory manager then? The job is, the task is, the objective is to make a judicious blend between these two countervailing forces. So judicious blend means to find out the equilibrium. To find out the equilibrium, to find out the balance between these two costs of the opposite nature. Why? Because my objective as a purchase manager, as a store manager, as a materials manager, what is my objective? My objective is to minimize the inventory cost and to find out such an ordered quantity which minimizes the total inventory cost TIC, which comprises with the two costs, holding cost plus ordering cost. So then what comprises TIC? Total inventory cost. TIC, total inventory cost, is the summation of holding cost and ordering cost. And what is the objective of the manager? The objective of the manager is to minimize this total inventory cost and to find out an optimum ordered quantity or economic ordered quantity. What is the meaning of economic? Jasprit Bumrah spends one run in consecutive 3 overs. So while watching the one day or 2020 in TV, normally we used to tell, oh, Bumrah's bowling is quite economical. So that what is the meaning of economy? It implies a sense of, spending little, only one run he allows to take. So economic ordered quantity. That means the ordered quantity which gives us the minimum inventory cost. So am I clear? Oh my God. Almost 1 hour. So let me go a little bit faster, because otherwise I can't complete what I have planned, because it's only a 90 minutes lecture. If it is 120 minutes, then probably it would be good. Okay, so right now I am using that jam board. I don't know that whether I can use it efficiently or not, because I am a little bit weak in using those technologies, but I'm trying my best. So just tell me that whether you can see this board or not. Can you see this board? Say I'm writing here that the annual demand although this is the handwriting like a ghost, but believe me, I am not a ghost. Yeah, annual demand is equal to A.
Sir, it is not visible on the screen.
Okay, let me share it. 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
maybe there is some type of electronic or digital glitch. So our resource person soon will be joining us. In the meantime, I would request our Vice Chancellor sir to speak few words about the webinar till now.
Very, very interesting, Mukherjee sir. It shows the practical experience of a personality who has told us various things about the inventories. Hello. So I believe that our students will understand, and the way he is explaining everything, that is in a very fine manner, nice manner. It is a very good presentation by Mr. Bandopadhyay, and I believe that very soon he will join us, and he will be showing something on the screen which he has already jotted down, and we have been enlightened with his speech regarding the financial aspect of the inventories, how the holding cost and storage cost are involved, and how the ordering cost is done by the manufacturer. So everything is being presented in a very decent way, and I've been listening him right from the beginning. So I would continue to listen his speech, and soon he will be joining us. I believe that he will be. He's having a very vast experience regarding the inventory management and in other field also. So it is a
Sir.
very interesting discussion by him, and I have been also learning it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Please continue, Bandyopadhyay sir.
Yes, yes, I am continuing, sir. Just 1 minute. Share. Now, is it visible?
Sir, it
Now
is
it is
visible.
visible, sir. Now it is visible.
Okay. Although my handwriting is like a ghost, because I am not habituated.
You are a very good speaker, sir. You are a very learned person, in what I believe.
So annual demand is equal to A. Please bear with me. I'm not so habituated in this. So say for example, the annual demand, the demand of the year of the raw materials of my company is equal to A. That means A unit. Okay. Ordered quantity, say for example, ordered quantity Q is equal to, say for example, Q. Ordered quantity is Q. That means per order, say for example, my annual demand is, say for example, 1000 units, and my ordered quantity, say for example, 250 units per order. So now tell me, how many orders I have to place? Very easy. Number of orders then should be A by Q. A by Q equal to 4, because I need 1000 units yearly, and in one go I am placing 250 units. So I require 4 orders annually to get all my demand fulfilled. Definitely, it is clear to all of you. Now you see, I'm talking about the ordering cost. Just few minutes back. So say ordering cost is equal to CO. Ordering cost is CO per order. CO per order. So then my total ordering cost, TOC, means I am bound to abbreviate the entire thing. Otherwise, I have to write the total ordering cost, and that is a discomfort to me. So I am writing here TOC, total ordering cost. That would be the number of orders placed into ordering cost per order. So A by Q, that is the number of order we have placed yearly into CO. Please remember that this is our total ordering cost. Now I am going to the second slide to get the total the storage cost. So now you see that I am ordering Q units in every go. In every go, I am ordering Q units. For clear understanding, please assume that the total unit is depleted. The total unit is finished in a month. I am clarifying the entire thing once again. Suppose first of any month, I have ordered 30 units. First of any month, I do order 30 units. Every day, 1 unit is sent to the factory sheds. So, at the end of the month, that means 30th of that month, in the evening, how many units are still there in my hand? The answer is 0. Because I have received 30 units at the outset of the month. The duration of the month is 30 days, and every day I am sending 1 unit to my factory from the store. So at the end of the month, my store has 0 unit in stock. So can anybody say that during this month, for how many units I am bothered? For how many units I am carrying my burden during this month or throughout this month? Can anybody tell me? I am answering, it is the average of the opening and the closing inventory. Because you see, the whole lot of 30 units, I am not carrying. I am not taking the responsibility of safeguarding, keeping 30 units intact throughout the month. Why? Because till 15th of the month, my units are more than 15. and after 15th, the units are less than 15, because every day 1 unit I have to send. So that means what is the average unit I have to take care about the month? That is Q plus 0. Sorry, Q plus 0. This is plus. Q plus 0. Q is the opening stock, 30 units. 0 is the closing stock at the end of the month. So Q plus 0 divided by 2. This is the average inventory for which I have to take care during the month time. So if I place an order of 250 units and end of certain period, it becomes 0. So then for how much unit, how many units I have to take care? I have to take care 250 units plus 0 by 2. This is the average inventory that I have to take care. So what would be my total storage cost? My total storage cost would be Q by 2 into CH. This is the holding cost, and this much of unit I have to hold on an average. Please remember that you don't have to take care of the whole unit during the entire period, because your stock is gradually depleting. Your stock is gradually reducing one by one, day after days, because periodically, continuously, you are sending the materials from your stock to the factory for the purpose of manufacturing. So what you have ordered, when you get the order, from the next day onwards, those ordered unit is getting depleted day by day. So it is gradually reducing. So that's why you don't have to take care of the whole lot. So you have to take care the average of that. So how to find out the average? The process is opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. So that much of inventory you have to take care during the period. And what is the holding cost? Per unit, holding cost per unit. Ordering cost is measured per order, and holding cost is measured per unit value. Per unit value. So here the holding cost is Q by 2 into CH. So now TIC. TIC. Full form is total inventory cost. So total inventory cost, what is this? This is ordering cost, CO plus holding cost, CH. So what is this? Just go back to my previous slide. Total ordering cost is what? A by Q into CO. So this is equal to A by Q. A by Q into CO. This is total ordering cost. And what is total storage cost? Q by 2 into CH. This is the total storage cost. So this is the total inventory cost. Please remember, this is not the total cost. This is the total inventory cost. Now, as I have mentioned earlier, that what is the objective of the materials manager? The objective is to minimize this, to minimize the total inventory cost. That means we have to find out the right Q. Q is what? Q is the ordered quantity, how much to place. So we have to find out the appropriate Q, the optimum Q, the economic Q, which provides me the minimum total inventory cost. Am I audible, sir? Hello?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So I have to minimize this. Now I want to, introduce little bit of fundamentals of mathematics. Probably you are all, expert in mathematics. So let me explain little bit. Optimization means either maximization or minimization. There are different types. The most simplest, but rare in practice, is unconstrained optimization. Unconstrained optimization. That means you want to minimize or maximize some function and you don't have to face any constraint. What is the meaning of constraint? The meaning of constraint is bottlenecks. In our every walk of life, we have to face a lot of bottlenecks. Because right now, I wish to be at Switzerland, but I don't have money. I don't have that kind of knowledge also. So that is my constraints. So that's why I'm here, sitting at my home and trying to make you understand something. So that means you see that everybody has its own limitation. The beggar has its own, and Bill Gates also has his own limitation. Everybody. So if you don't have any limitation in your business proceedings, and at the same time you want to maximize or minimize something, this is called in mathematics unconstrained optimization. Unconstrained, you don't have any limitation. So that is one type of optimization process. Mathematically, we apply direct differentiation. I think you all know differentiation. First order and second order differentiation, and try to find out that optimum quantity. So that is one type. Second type, optimization with single constraint. I can give you the example. In practice, we all want to maximize our utility. In practice, we all want to maximize our utility. Utility means satisfaction by consuming n number of commodities. But can you tell me that what is my constraint? What is my limitation? My limitation is my income. Because if I want to purchase one good helicopter right now, I can't. Because my budget does not permit to do that. So here, I want to maximize my utility. Utility means my satisfaction, subject to budget constraint. So my limitation is budget. So here, I have only one constraint, but I want to maximize my utility. So if the problem is of this kind, then mathematically, we have to construct a composite function after the name of Lagrange. It is called Lagrangian composite function. And we have to use the partial derivatives to find out the optimum amount, optimum answer. The third one is optimization with multiple constraints. You may want to maximize your profit, but at the same time, you may have multiple constraints. You may have constraints in employing laborers. You need 10 laborers, but you have only 2 laborers in your hand. You may have the constraint of the capital. You need $10 crore to invest, but surprisingly, you have only $2 crore. So that is the capital constraint. You may have land constraint. You need Xingmu to build a automobile industry to manufacture Tata Nano. But there is a commotion of the people. Political, agenda is there. So you are not getting that. So what to do? Then you have to shift the entire infrastructure from here to Shanand, Gujarat. What do you do? So you see, different kinds of limitations may be there while doing the business. And as a manager, you have to face all. So how to tackle, how to overcome mathematically? The name of the process is LPP, Linear Programming Problem. One objective function with multiple constraints. Probably the students of postgraduate have already faced it in your operation research. Linear programming, LPP. So these many types of others are also there. Kuntaka, integer programming, all these different processes are there for solving the optimization problem. Here in this problem, we are watching that we have to minimize the total inventory cost, and there is no constraint. It is unconstrained minimization. So simply I have to use the concept of maxima and minima. First order derivative equal to 0. Second order derivative, if it is negative, shows maxima. If it is positive, shows minima. Why? This is out of the scope of today's lecture. Then I have to extend the lecture for 3 hours. So it is not possible. So probably if I will get another chance of the other day, I may explain that why is it so that if it is positive, second order is positive, then it represents minima. And if the second order is negative, then it represents maxima. Why is it like this? I will explain later on if I get another chance from Dr. Mukherjee sometimes. So today, just I am going for the differentiation. The first order differentiation I am doing, you see, DTIC, DQ. Don't pronounce it by. Although the symbol is by, but the right pronunciation is dy dx. It is not dy by dx. It is dy dx. So the right pronunciation is DTIC dq. Don't say as DTIC by dq. No, sorry. So DTIC dq in terms of quantity, ordered quantity. Because mind it, we are finding out the ordered quantity. So with respect to ordered quantity, we have to differentiate the entire function. And what is the function? The function is the total inventory cost. So we have to check that if 1 unit of the ordered quantity is changed, what is the resultant change on total inventory cost? This is the meaning of this expression, dTIC dQ. What is the meaning of that? The meaning is, what is the change of the total inventory cost if the Q is changed for a single unit? This is the meaning of this expression. Now, what is the mathematics? Mathematics is minus A by Q square minus A by Q square into CO plus half, because the differentiation of Q is 1, half CH. This is the first order or necessary condition. So the first order should be equal to 0 for optimizing any function. So that is equal to 0. I am going to the next page because now I am in hurry because time is over. So Dr. Mukherjee, may I continue for 5-10 minutes more for your kind permission,
Sure,
please?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. You can continue, sir.
Yes, sir. Only 5-10 minutes. Let me finish this.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Yeah, please. So just going back to the previous page, that is minus A by Q square into CO plus half CH equal to 0. This is the first order or the necessary condition. Please mind it that we are trying to find out the value of Q. We are trying to find out the value of Q. Now, what to do? We have to shift this to the right hand side. That means to the right hand side of this equal to. So this thing should be shifted to this place in the next page. So minus A CO by Q square in the next page, or minus A by ACO by Q square equal to minus probably CH by 2. Yeah, CH by 2 minus. So from both the sides, we can cancel down the negative sign. So or just make it reverse. That means Q square by ACO equal to 2 by CH. I have done the reciprocal of the figures on both the sides. Now, or Q square, this side Q square, just do the cross multiplication. This thing should come here. So 2ACO by CH So then what would be the value of Q? Q will be under root of this entire thing, under root 2ACO by CH. So 2 into annual demand into ordering cost divided by holding cost. This is the formula of ordered quantity, the so-called formula, what we use almost day and night for finding out the optimum ordered quantity or economic ordered quantity. Now, just give me 1 minute time to show you the diagram also, because I have told you x-axis ordered quantity we are measuring, ordered quantity, ordered Q. I am writing for your time, means with your time permission. This is ordered quantity, x-axis, ordered quantity. Along the y-axis, we are measuring all type of cost, C, all type of cost, C, and this is origin. Now I have told you that as the ordered quantity, that means the quantity ordered in one go, is increased, our storage cost also will be increased. So there is a positive relation between the ordered quantity and the storage cost, because we have to take care of more quantities in the godown, in the warehouse, in the store. So I can draw this kind of positive line which shows holding or storage cost. It has a positive relationship with the ordered quantity. As the ordered quantity is increased, I have to store more quantity in my warehouse, and so the cost is also increased. But if I order more quantity in one go, then number of orders will be decreased, because my annual demand is fixed. If I place 250 units per order, I need to order 4, means I need to place 4 orders. But if my ordered quantity is say 500 units, then I need to place only 2 orders. So if my ordered quantity is increased, my number of orders will be decreased, and so my ordering cost. So my ordering cost has a negative relationship with the ordered quantity. So you see two countervailing costs. Now when we add these two, it is called the vertical addition or vertical integration of these two countervailing forces, two countervailing cost, then I will get this kind of U-shaped cost line, which can be called total inventory cost, which is actually the summation of, equal to the summation of CH plus CO. So what is my objective? My objective is to find out the ordered quantity which minimizes the total inventory cost. So which minimizes the total inventory cost. So say this is OQ0. So you see, this is the minimum total inventory cost. See, if I draw a vertical from here, it will pass through the intersection of these two countervailing costs. Because earlier I told you that as a manager, I have to make a judicious blend. I have to find out the balancing point. In mathematics, in the diagram, balance means point of intersection when the forces are opposite. So here the slope of the costs are opposite. So to find out the balance between the two differently sloped curve, I have to find out the point of intersection. So this is the point of intersection. I may indicate it by epsilon. This is epsilon, It's a Greek FCSI, lon, epsilon. This is a Greek alphabet, E, normally denoted for finding out the equilibrium. So this is the balancing point, this. So if I draw the vertical, that vertical passes through the balancing point, and this is OQ0. So what is the meaning of this OQ0? That means in one go, this much of order should be placed, and this is called EOQ. EOQ. The full form is economic ordered quantity. Economic ordered quantity. So this is the diagrammatical representation of the concept, and this is the mathematical representation of the concept. If you know your annual demand, if you know your ordering cost, if you know your holding cost, you can find out the economic order quantity. So now I am expecting some questions from your end. Please ask me, then I will answer one by one. So today I should stop here because my time does not permit me to proceed further. Sir?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, so
it was really interesting and a very nice presentation from Mr. Indrajit Bandyopadhyay, and he has given all the details of inventory management, and I hope all our students and all the faculty members and all those who have joined this session from outside Madhya Pradesh, they will also be beneficial. He has shared all his experience with a very practical, graphical representation, with a very practical calculation and all those things. And during the pandemic time also, inventory management is very important, and without which any business cannot think of creating its strategy, or any business cannot even think of proceeding forward.
yes.
So thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your nice deliberations. Actually,
yes. Welcome, sir.
Some of the questions I have received from the students, but due to constraint of time, I will do one thing. I will send them through some social media, either WhatsApp or mail to you, so
Yes,
that
sir.
I can receive the answer, and I will send the answers to the concerned students.
Yeah,
So
I'll do that.
Finally,
But
Mr. Mukherjee, I suggest you please invite again Mr. Bandyopadhyay for his second deliberation, because it is so interesting topic he has chosen, and I would be happy if he gives the time again to complete his session. And
Yes,
it would
sure,
be
sir, sure, sir.
because there are a lot of things that might be left by him,
Yes,
because
sir, true.
because of constraint of time. He had already mentioned about it, so I would like to hear him again. And I have heard his entire deliberation, and it was a very interesting and very useful for the students, probable managers of the this country. It is a very useful presentation, graphical as well as mathematical explanation which he has given. It is very noteworthy and very interesting. Thank you very much, Mr. Bandyopadhyay.
Thank you, sir.
I would be
Thank you
happy
so
to receive you here in our university sometimes after the pandemic is over.
Yes,
we would
yes,
like to
yes,
invite
sir.
you in our university, AKS University.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please
Yes.
continue.
Thank you, sir. So I would like to thank our resource person and eminent speaker, Mr. Indrajit Bandyopadhyay from USA Martin, Kolkata. For his nice deliberation. I would like to thank our chairperson, sir, who due to some important meeting is unable to join us. And I would like to thank our Pro Vice Chancellor, development, an eminent economist. He is always a source of inspiration for us. I would like to thank Ashish sir for his IT support, Sonu sir for his IT support. I would like to thank Sirish sir for his IT support. I would like to thank our coordinator, Mr. Pramod Kumar Divedi, for his coordination. And finally, I would like to thank all the listeners of this very beautiful program. And once again, lastly, I would like to thank our resource person and sir. It was a nice deliberation, and we will surely wait for you for your second session. Thank you very much, sir. Now, officially, sir, we can call, we can switch off this session, or we can switch off this webinar. Thank you very much, sir.